All
Hi
right.
guys, it's Ollie from Rad Season. Welcome to the Rad Season show. I'm stoked to be joined today by the founder of Grind for Life, Mike Rogers. Mike, how are you, man?
Hey, how you doing, Ollie?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks. How's everything going over there?
We're just here in Florida, finishing up the Tampa Am this past weekend, and the level of skating is amazing. Uh,
Yeah, how was it? Because this is like you've been going for years, right? I mean,
yeah, we've been doing the Grind for Life since 2004.
mhm.
It started in 2003 as a benefit to get me back on my feet. I'm a two-time sarcoma survivor.
Yeah,
Sarcomas are super rare, 1% of all cancers. So I'm a two-time survivor of that. 2003, I had a cranial facial resection with a brain lift done, 17 and a half hour procedure, lived
wow.
through it. And then we had a thing called the Grind for Life benefit. I was a YMCA skate park director. So we had a big benefit to help me get back on my feet. We took a lot of that money we raised that day, paid off my medical bills, and started Grind for Life. And then Grind for Life started out as a contest series at
Mhm.
Y, and then people were getting tired of just coming to West Palm Beach and skating events there. So in 2007, we started taking it over to the state of Florida. And what we do at those events is we help people compete, learn how to skate contests, and then we also do raise money to help people with their travel. That's what Grind for Life does, helps people who have to travel long distances for cancer treatment. That's what I had to do. I had
Mhm.
to go my fourth opinion to Memorial Sloan Kettering to see Dr. Singh, and he goes, "Yeah, you're getting here at a good time. We're 3 years into doing your procedure, and you'll be the 46th person ever to have the cranial facial resection with the brain lift done." So I could see in his
Wow.
eyes that he was confident about the surgery. The other doctors I went to see, not so much. So I was lucky to go find a doctor in the United States, and it was long way to get to New York. But I was a skate park director, and I had all my benefits, so I was able to cash in my retirement fund and
Mhm.
pay for my travel to get there. So I was lucky to have insurance. And I was lucky to have that little bit of retirement money to pay for my travel. So that's where the concept of Grind for Life came from, is putting on super good events, organized on time, um, and then also help people who had to travel. Then we
Yeah.
also share my story at events. I talk to people battling cancer or any kind of info they need. I'm really good at navigating medical, how to travel, how to get there, and all that. So Grind for Life's taking a lot of burden off people to get to right cancer treatment. So our mission, we've accomplished our mission tenfold by getting hundreds of people to the right cancer treatment with over a $500,000 in travel support.
That's
And then
so
we've
good.
done over 940 events in the last 17 years over the country, over the United States. And we've also been down to Australia and New Zealand, telling my story and competing down there. So modern day miracle medicine, and wellness is happiness. If you take care of yourself, you skate all the time, you can stay healthy and do a lot of great things. So
Yeah.
that's the story.
And and where did skateboarding all begin for you? Like how did you start off?
I started skating. I was lucky. I was in the first generation of skate parks in the 70s. So in 1976, 77, we had a skate park open called Skateboard Safari in West Palm Beach, and that's where I learned how to skate on a 70s style board with Bennett Pros and some urethane wheels and a 7-inch wide board made out of oak, real thick, with a glued on kicktail. But my first board actually was at Walgreens. You could go into sporting goods and get you one of those freeformer boards. That would be
Okay.
like
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
starter board. So we did a starter board, and then my mom eventually took me to Fox Surf and Skate, and then we got a real deal Fox Complete with urethane wheels and Bennett Pros and all that good stuff.
And did you were you competing back then? Like
I started
when you kind of got
competing in
into
the
it?
'80s, doing
Okay.
freestyle events, and I would skate everything. Freestyle street was just coming around in the mid '80s, so there was a lot of launch ramps,
Yep.
curbs, stuff like that, and then mini ramp. I skated vert when it was 10-foot high ramps, 16-foot wide.
Because I've seen some incredible footage of you on the bowls. Were you skating bowls back then as well, or?
Yeah, we didn't really have bowls. We'd have backyard pools, so we'd be
Okay.
able to find some backyard pools.
Yeah.
We would skate Lakeport High School pool when it drained in the summer.
You'd basically skate everything, right? Like
Yeah, I
just
skate everything but major ramp. No major ramp stuff.
yeah.
No big jumping down stairs anymore. None of that stuff. But in the '80s, I used to bomb the stairs. You didn't ollie them. You just push as fast as you can and just launch them. So I remember when I was a kid riding my Sims pig shape. Back then they were 10-foot wide, no concave, 30 inches long.
Mm-hmm.
So the board was super wide and stable, so you could launch stairs back then. You just had to be going fast and had to be able to land good, you know. So I remember back like in '84 when I was still in high school and stuff, launching stairs at school and stuff like that.
Yeah. And what was your favorite type of skating? Like,
I
was there
like
like any
freestyle
particular
skating
spots
and
or?
park skating now, you know.
Yeah.
Parks, mini ramps. I don't really skate that much vert anymore. I still can. I skate Tony Hawk's ramp. That's like the most perfect vert ramp. So if you haven't skated vert in a while, you go to Tony's. Is once you get the drop and you get the pump down on the vert, it's good. It's like super smooth.
Yeah.
But I haven't got to skate it since it's got the new gator skin on there. It's even more grip yours. I see the guys are ripping on it now.
Yeah. Nice. And so then like if it's okay, I mean like I'd love to kind of talk about what happened
No,
when,
whatever
like just before you were a teenager. So you were 12, weren't you? And that was kind of when you,
when I
I
first
guess,
was
yeah.
diagnosed in 1977, I just started skateboarding. So and a year into skateboarding, then I was diagnosed with sarcoma in my behind my right eye. So it was right here behind here. And back then I had to get I had to go through a back then 4-hour surgery was a heavy surgery, and then they were able to remove the bulk of the tumor and put it in remission for 25 years. So
Wow.
one little size speck cancer cell was in my nasal cavity that they didn't get. So 25 years later, the thing with sarcomas is they grow like a pimple. They just one day they just go from super small and just go within a week or so. So that's what, when I was 37, I was the skate park director at the Y. I started getting a runny nose, and I was like, "Why is my nose running?" And I'm not sick or anything. So I went to a regular doctor, and she said, "Oh, it looks like you got an angry nose polyp." So I did 14 days of antibiotics. Didn't help. Then I went to see a doctor, Raja in Wellington. He was a nose, throat, and ear specialist. He said, "Oh, it looks like your cancer came back from when you were younger." I said, "How does cancer come back 25 years later?" But I did the biopsy in West Palm Beach. It says, "Yep, your cancer came back. We moved the bulk of the tumor, but the roots of the tumor are all through your nasal." So what they did is they had to do, when I went to New York, they had to remove the cheek, half the roof of the mouth, and the teeth, some of my teeth, and replace all this right here with the right abdominal muscles. So At that time, they were just learning how to do microsurgery. So microsurgery is when they're reattaching blood vessels and stuff. So 17 years ago, that was super gnarly, but now their procedures are getting a lot better for a lot of people, man. So
Yeah.
modern day miracle medicines are happening all the time for people. Like I met a guy that we helped with some raffle stuff. I was at Street League a couple of weeks ago in Jacksonville, and this guy named Mike Whaley came up to me and says, "Hey, thanks for sending all those raffle prizes and helping me get on my feet. I just survived pancreatic cancer." And that's it. Like, if you can say survive that, it's like 5% of people survive that. So, yeah, he's also a modern day miracle of medicine. So, people are surviving cancers that people thought they never could survive. So a lot of it too is mental. So if you think you're going to survive it and you got to do what you got to do to get through it, you do it. Yeah. Like eat properly, exercise. The most important thing you can do is get out, walk 3 miles a day, keep your cardio going good. Me, I do some push-ups every week. And then I skate every day, a couple hours. And that keeps you in good shape.
Yeah.
And then if you do get sick, you got a strong immune system where you can fight off any illness,
Yeah. Because
you're in good shape too, though.
Yeah, I don't know. In and out of injuries, but yeah.
Yeah, everybody gets injured. You just that's the bump in the road that we never see coming, but
yeah,
we got to muscle over it sometimes,
That's it. And like when it came back, did you were you looking at different locations, different hospitals? Because then you had to go to New York from Florida, right? I mean,
yeah,
you were living there at the time.
I had to do a Google search for there's only 4 in the United States for specialized sarcoma treatment. Thing with sarcomas is they go undertreated or overtreated. A lot of cancer doctors might never see that kind of tumor in their whole practice of them practicing medicine.
Yeah.
So it's crucial to get to the right specialist about soft tissue tumors. So for me, when I got to New York, that was the closest place from Cocoa Beach. We were down in West Palm Beach, but at that time, that was the closest place. So I said, yeah, I'll go up there. And they were the Memorial Sloan Kettering up there was the place that did that procedure the most. So that was in good hands,
Yeah.
So luckiest guy you ever meet is me. And I was able to survive it and get back on my feet by work. It took me about 5 years to heal from my surgery, though. All this microsurgery and stuff. You couldn't lift anything. Nothing over 75 pounds, and that for a year.
And you were in really good shape. I mean, going like before it happened, right? I mean, you were skating the whole time. And
I was a skate park director for YMCA. I had a skate shop and a snack bar. So I had 4 people working in my skate shop, and I had 4 girls working the snack bar. And then I had 5 people help me with the skate park. So I had like 15 people working under me at the skate park, and I was skating 12 hours a day, teaching and keeping everybody motivated. See, at the YMCA's, it's structured there. So there's camps, there's lessons, there's old school night. See, the YMCA, they hired a skateboarder. So it was one of the most skateboard friendly Ys in the country. And all the pros would know it because they would come from the Tampa Pro and then come to the Y and do a demo. And then they would hit Miami on the way out before they flew back to California or wherever they were coming from. That was the route. You would fly in. This is the early 2000s, like early 2000s before my cancer and stuff, like 2000 to I say to 2003. For like 3 years there, everybody was hitting. They would come call me up. Hey, we want to bring the action footwear demo through here, and that was when Paul Rodriguez was on action footwear, and he was like 13 years old, and we had Mike V and the whole Etnies team come through, and we had a lot of good skaters. You know, he had Birdman come out with his family unannounced one morning. So
Nice.
that was cool working at the Y, because we were the first YMCA in the country to have 3 pools. We had like a skater friendly ones. They were not really vert, but they had a real pool surface on it. Had Marcite on them. Like that's what's on a real pool surface is Marcite.
Oh, okay.
So they're still there. They're still good, but they don't have real pool coping on them and stuff. It has a rolled lip. So it's easy to roll into them and easy to drop in. And so, yeah, we had shoot on a Saturday in the early 2000s. That's when we do 3-hour sessions. So every 3 hours, we'd have 90 kids and everybody skating. And then we'd have to clear everybody out. And then another 90 people come in. On a Saturday, we'd have like over 350 people come through and skate, you know, because it was the only skate park in since Skateboard Safari. So skateboarding was hot back in the early 2000s. We were just starting to get public parks built, and for the Y to have that. And that was at the same time as the Tony Hawk Pro Skater came out, video game. So kids would be on their video game, learning their kick flips and all that. And then they'd come out and try to do a real kick flip, and they'd see how hard it was, and back to the digital game or back to the real kick flip. So I had a lot of kids after that. They'd come out every day, you know, and skate. And like Alex Sargente, he started skating with me at 5 out there. So I've been mentored him since his beginning. And he's the only kid that traveled from Lake Worth. I was like the 90s pro. He was like the future of skateboarding from Lake Worth in South Florida. I seen it. He would be able to take gnarly wipeouts and get up and cry and get up and be all shake it off and get back at it. He'd skate for hours and hours, learning tricks and all that. And me and him, we travel the world together and stuff. That's amazing where he's come. He's become a X Games 2-time gold medalist in park, and then a 2-time Vans global champion 2 times. So, yep, all started at the Y with little kick, turn, and carving.
And were you organizing events then as well?
I was doing it for the Y back then.
Okay.
And then back then in the early 2000s, nobody skated contests yet, really. Nobody really knew, you know, like what it was a contest. So you'd have like maybe 50 people enter the contest, you know, 40 people, because everybody kind of nervous, and some people would get out there and do it, and some people just want to watch, and then they would do the next one because they see how it worked, you know. And then I did it for the Y till my cancer came back in 2003. So I had 5 years of running events for the Y, and then when we started Grind for Life in 2004, we started the Grind for Life series, and then in 2014, see, the thing with the Grind for Life series, it got too big for me and our volunteers. It used to be like 50 or 60 skaters. It went 2011, it went like 50 or 60 skaters, and then it went up to 160 skaters. I was like, oh no. But yeah, it went too big. And then 2013, I got so busy, the organization, we started doing a lot of events in California and all over the country. So I took a break and tried to figure out what I was going to do with the series. So 2014, the border started. And Clemens and Rob Marinac, and they started that, and they didn't have any work. So I was like, you guys want to do the Grind for Life series? I'll show you how to do it. It's really easy. We go around all these parks, and we do these events, and we raise money. And so the first year, they figured out how to do it, and they were already like the best people in the world running skate events for the skate park in Tampa, you know. So I couldn't have. It'd be like me teaming up with Apple, you know. So it's like the Apple skateboarding event people. So since we've been doing that, they've been doing it for us for 8 years now. Now we have global rankings. We give everybody their first contest for free, they can experience what a contest is like. So kids that pay don't feel like they have to do really well. They can enjoy the experience. They're out there helping people with cancer. They're meeting the skateboard community. They're overcoming their fears. They're encouraging up. So it's like a STEM program for skateboarding, you know. So
Yeah.
it builds the community. Now I have kids, and all of us, all the way to, we have people like almost 60 years old skating in the series. So we have adaptive in our series. So we have blind skateboarders. Justin Bishop, he learned how to compete in front of everybody. He skates with a cane with a beacon up on top of the ramp. So closer he gets to the ramp, the beacon goes faster. So he knows where the wall's at. So, and then we have people who are skating without limbs in the series. So anybody who has the will to ride, we have the platform for you. So
yeah,
it's pretty amazing what this.
That's amazing. Like where it's kind of come from,
and what we've been able to help so many skaters. We got like Jamie Floyd, Zion Wright, Jake Lardy, all them skaters. And I remember when they were just learning how to kick, turn, and push.
so
yeah, it's pretty cool to see how like a vision become reality, and then the mission of the organization be fulfilled, and so many people help. You know, it's hard to do Grind for Life. You set up at events, helping people when they're in their worst state, dying of cancer, when they don't have the money to get there, you know. So it feels good to be able to go out and skate, but the mission is really serious on what we're able to do for people, you know. So yeah.
What was the initial like I guess the mission or the vision of Grind for Life? Was that like it was to help?
The vision was to do quality skateboard events that help people with cancer. So a lot of events aren't really, you're there all day waiting for your placing and all that.
Yeah.
So like we always were like this, try to do this as best we can for people and all that. And then have a good, when we come, the kid, it has his first contest, has a good experience about skateboarding. So he'll come back and want to be a part of the community and stuff, you know. And it's not so much about the contest. It's about giving back to your community and helping. Because in the 80s and 90s, we used to have to build our own ramps together. It'd probably be a few of us skating, you know, in your community. There might be 20 guys who skated in your thing. Now we have millions of skateboarders globally, you know, and we have the Hawk Foundation, or now it's the Skateboard Project. They've helped build, you know, over 500 skate parks in the United States. I think in the United States, we're almost up to, at one point, it was 4,600 skate parks in the United States. But
wow, okay.
Now there's, I think it's over 5,000. You couldn't even skate all the skate parks if you wanted to, you know. So to have all these great skate parks, and now to bring in a quality event to help people in the community to experience skateboarding at its best is what we do, you know. Instead of having to go to their first contest and it's all shabbily run and all that.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to, when you're having your first skateboard experience, to have it well organized and all that. And that's just how far we've come in skateboarding now. You know, we have non-for-profits. We're helping save people's lives. We're building skate parks. There's programs now. Des Moines, Iowa, they built the world's biggest skate park, and they have a non-for-profit that does all the events for the park. For there's always activity. For a year, not like this, and you skate for a few minutes. You skate for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And then you go like this on your device, you know.
That's so good.
It's good mentoring, you know, for the skate parks. And like me, I also do on my spare time, I do camps and stuff at Cocoa Beach Skate Park. I have the keys to the skate park there.
Okay.
And I do camps and stuff, mentoring. I do skateboard history and all that stuff. So we have a lot of programs that we do through Grind for Life. We do a Grind for Life community night every 2 weeks at Cocoa Beach Skate Park. There was no activity. The park had like a shop and stuff like that there, and a lot of that's going away because insurance liability insurance on that person who operates that skate park, it's gone up tremendously. So that's why you see a lot of non-for-profits working with cities and doing events with the city. And then the burden's not all on one person or county or whatever. You got non-for-profits helping do programs at free and unsupervised skate parks, so it's working out pretty good.
Yeah. And have you been mentoring people who kind of are going through similar things that you have as well,
so many
right?
events, like people are like, why do you set up why don't you have somebody helping you and all these volunteers? Because sometimes if you have somebody that seriously needs some help, you need to have somebody there that really knows what to give the person a good advice, And me, I can give you great advice, great people to go to get you the support, direction if you need fundraising more than I can do. Like Grind for Life, it raises maybe a little over $100,000 a year, so we can only help people with a couple of $1,000 a month in travel. But that's what everybody needs help with nowadays, because we have all the best cures for cancer in this world. So if you have it and you have to travel long ways, that's what everybody needs help with. So that's where GoFundMe pages have really played a big help in a lot of people getting right cancer treatment also, because I can send up to 1,500, a couple hundred to get you there, but that's not going to cover, like, people need thousands and thousands of dollars, So, like, we helped Sasha Starnhuis, who just passed away, with a lot of help. He needed a lot of travel, but we helped him. He was one of my best friends in skateboarding, Sasha, and he just passed away from. He also had a sarcoma right here in his neck. He had a lot of procedures done, but he had to travel a lot. He had to travel from Orange County up to San Francisco a lot. Super sick. So, yeah, it's a rough road for a lot of people, man. It ain't easy. I just make it look easy because I had a good recovery, That's what a lot of people are like, oh, he does skate. They don't understand that. That's the story, that you can have your brain lifted and all this and get back to life and still help people and all that, So people for a while, he does skate. Yeah, that's the story. He had his brain lifted and all this. He should be able to skate, and that's the story. Like, you can have bad things happen and good things happen, good outcomes, if you take care of yourself. So,
and I mean, like back then when it was happening to you, how did you cope with it all mentally? I mean, it would have been different, obviously, when you were a kid and it happening.
My blessing is I had it when I was a kid, and I knew I could get through it. It was just getting the right treatment.
Yeah.
And that's for some people to go when they're sick, leave their community, go to another state. That's a scary. Some people don't want to take that leap of faith, So everybody has their roads that they have to travel. I can only help with my knowledge and information, and then people can use whatever they learned from me to help them,
Yeah.
So heavy duty stuff that I do for people and what I've been through. So I'm blessed to be able to help any people I can just every day. If I can get up and do what I do is a blessing, because I shouldn't even be here, But I was lucky. I got the right treatments. I had the right insurance. I had that little bit of retirement fund to cash in to get up to New York. And so, yeah.
And would you say like it's like the main thing would be the traveling then, because it's sort of something that you're not really expecting?
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, if you got to travel and you're dying of cancer, that's like the worst thing ever. You got to leave your house, and it's a rough road. But if your treatment's in your community, that's a blessing. It's not a blessing you got to go through it with the cancer, but it's a blessing that you don't have to travel long ways, to get to the right cancer treatment. People that live in rural areas, whereas doctors or stuff are like 4 or 5 hours away, when you get cancer, that's when it's real bad too,
Yeah.
Then you're sick. You got to travel back. You just got your chemotherapy, and you got to travel 3 hours back. Usually you start getting nauseated from your chemo treatment about 5 or 6 hours after it. You start throwing up a lot. So if you're not like in your home or your comfort zone, imagine having to go to some gas station bathroom and start puking for like a half an hour, you know? So that happens to people too. That happened to me. I had to go from when I was a kid, when I went to Miami, my mom would drive me down. We would do my chemo and stuff down there. And I'd come back about an hour. It'd take about an hour or so to get back home from Miami, from West Palm Beach. And right when I get back from Miami, I'd be in the bathroom throwing up from the things. Sometimes the chemo would react faster, and my mom would have to pull up the side of 95, and I'd have to throw up and stuff. So, wow. Yeah, like that's the worst part of it. Getting chemotherapy and treatments when you travel is when you start getting sick from the chemo, you know. And if you're not home or in a comfortable place, it makes it hard, even harder. But people, you got to go through the bumps in the road, man. Life ain't easy.
Yeah. So it's incredible, like what you're doing to help, you know, and sort of, I guess through the skate community and kind of like making it aware and yeah.
Yeah, we've lost a lot of people, but we've also helped save a lot of people's lives by riding skateboards. So we've done a lot of good with a little bit and helped a lot of people. So, and help a lot of people become great people too, and learn how to give back through skateboarding. So I have a lot of younger people who give back and help others and all that. And that's what they've learned through the mission of the Grind for Life, you know? So that's the beautiful thing too.
That's cool.
Is as skateboarders, we give a lot to help our other fellow humans and all that good stuff. So,
yeah. And what other projects have you got coming up? Like there was the Kind Humans and
yeah,
GoPro.
We just teamed up with Kind Humans. They started they're on their third year. So Kind Humans, it's great. Justin and Adam and all the people over there. All their stuff is the Amazon. I call it the Amazon sustainable goods. So whatever you buy from that, it goes to help many organizations clean up plastic, clean water, plant trees. We're under health. So they support us under our mission of helping people get the right cancer treatment and share my story. So they did a Kind Humans Grind for Life t-shirt. So whenever they buy that shirt, 30% goes to the organization and the rest goes to keep that sustainable goods going and help our environment, you know. That's the thing too. Like our environment's pretty there's a lot of litter out there, a lot of processed food.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fake food. People aren't drinking enough water. Like you got to drink water all the time. Stay away from sodas, corn syrup, all that. Corn syrup is like a lot of sodas and stuff, and it doesn't really dissolve. Like it's like a big jelly. It stays in your belly. So it's important to drink a lot of water and eat healthy, you know. Once you start eating healthy and drinking a lot of water, your metabolism starts getting better, and you try to eat that junk food, you don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Because you start getting rid of all that fake sugars and a lot of the artificial stuff. You eat a lot of that processed and artificials, you start getting cravings for that. So if you can break those cravings of a big double cheeseburger, like a lot of that's all processed anyway. So if you can start eating organic, you don't need as much to eat. You know, like you can eat a big value meal or something with a bunch of process in it, and you'll be hungry half an hour later, you know. When you eat whole foods, it stays in your system and it keeps you satisfied. You don't have all them cravings and stuff. So that's what I've been learning after my cancer treatment. Wasn't always like that. After my cancer treatment, I had to do a soft food diet for a year. Oh, wow. So after a year, all this healed, so I could start eating regular food, and they called me buffet. Like from like 2008 to 2010, I was like, and then my belly was out. Like I went from I was almost up to almost 170. I was like 20 pounds overweight. I was like, hey,
if you couldn't eat for so long, though, right?
I mean, eating good. I'm like, I go, yeah. I didn't even realize my belly was growing. They were all laughing at me and stuff when I'd be at the Vans pool party. And like, yeah, Mike, you're looking good. My belly's looking good. You know, we would go over at the Vans park, and it's at the block, so it has a bunch of places to eat. We'd skate and we'd go over there. I eat like cheeseburger and a couple of like couple appetizers and stuff, and sit around for an hour, and then I'd skate it all off. You know, I'd skate 3 or 4 hours. You know, like 10 years ago, I could skate. Like I'm going to be 56 now, so my sessions are probably like an hour and a half now. Hour. They used to be like 3 hours. You know, so. But yeah, like
it's still pretty good though. I mean, if you're skating like over an hour.
Yeah, like the last 7 years, I've been full water, all like organic. Like I'm down to 150. I'm like 20 pounds lighter. I'm skating faster.
and feeling better, right, as well.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. Is when you eat good, you feel good.
Yeah.
You know, like when you start like a bad diet and no sleep, that's what gets everybody. You know. Raging all night, not eating good, you don't last long.
Yeah, it
you see them fall
right?
apart at the contest all the time. The kids are like 22, 23. They'll like rage it up on a Friday night. They'll eat a bunch of junk food, and then it's semifinals on Saturday, and then they'll make it through Saturday, and then Sunday when you need the extra energy from eating good, they don't have that, and then they fall a bunch of falling and all that. So.
But do you see it changing? You reckon they're like
like the kids now, and everybody's really health oriented, you know, and that's a lot to do with a lot of great information for people. Mm-hmm. Like there's a lot of great information through apps about eating right and all that, like Michael Phelps for mindfulness and all that, mind, body, and spirit. That's what I preach, you know, like. Be grateful for your earth and be grateful for your universe, because that's the main things that matter, you know.
Yeah.
If your earth's healthy, if your earth is healthy and the universe is healthy, that means everybody's happy. But yeah, I like keep it down to earth, you know. Life is pretty simple if you make it that way. If you make it complicated, it's easy to make it that way nowadays with the social media and all that stuff. If you get out there and just get out there and walk in the woods, turn off your device, hear the birds, you know, if you can take a hike or take a walk, turn off your device for a little bit, get some mindfulness, get acclimated to your surroundings out there, you know, and focus it on the real world, not the digital world, you know.
Yeah.
It's easy to get sucked into the digital world too much, but you can also get out there and have some sessions, ride your bike, skate for a few hours without your device. That's good mindfulness, you know, clearing your mind. Try to breathe, try to get 8 hours of sleep. That good stuff.
Nice. And what have you got coming up? Sort of, well, I guess later on. I mean, it's always coming up to Christmas soon.
We got the Grind series. We have 5 dates for next year set on the gflseries.com.
Awesome.
So that's set. We're getting ready to do the award ceremony for the year for 2021. We made it through the worst 2 years ever, because we're an event organization, so we haven't been able to do events like usually. Like during the this year and last year, we've done events where we do every 2 divisions and we give out the product and you go. So there hasn't been no gathering. Like people just come and go, get their points. Skate the events, but we did the one in Charleston in October. And that was the first state in the whole country to let us come in and do an event. And that was our biggest one to date. We had 221 skaters in the contest. We gave 185 people their first contest for free because it was the first time we were in Charleston. So that was sick. And then it was just the first time getting back to normal, you know. So 2022 we'll be back to normal, and we survived through not being able to do events, but we still been able to help people get to the right treatments. So yeah, we got the award ceremony coming December 4th. And then we have my surf event that we do. We do some surf events too.
Oh, okay.
We
I didn't
do
know
one surf event. It's called the Surfing Santas.
that.
And we go to battle with Bondi Beach, Australia. Like Bondi tries to do the most surfing Santas every year.
Yeah.
And then Cocoa Beach, Florida, we do a surfing Santas. And we've been doing this. It's been over 10 years. We started doing this. It started out with 24 surfing Santas. Last time we did it before the pandemic, we did 2019. We had 683 surfing Santas. They come out Christmas Eve morning.
That's so
and the
good.
event supports Grind for Life, and then it supports the Florida Surfing Museum. So it's pretty amazing. The event goes global. CNN and all the big media people come and cover it.
Mhm.
We give out a lot of great information that morning. It's like a 3-hour event, so it
Okay.
raises good money too. So we do that on Christmas Eve morning. It's from like 8 in the morning till like noon. But
Nice.
thousands of people come out to spectate all the Santas, and it's pretty cool.
They used to do this like a Santa like a bar crawl where I lived in Sydney in Manly, and yeah, that was kind of going on every year. And it's good to see a surf one though. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know about the like what you guys are doing. That's awesome.
Yeah, I do a lot of surfing too. Through the 90s since I've traveled. I've been down on Indonesia. I went there in 95 for 6 weeks. Surfed G-Land, did a boat trip, did a fishing boat. They didn't have those any traders and all them fancy boats now, but
yeah,
we did 10 days on that. Surfed Star Reef and
oh wow,
surfed
it must have been
Desert
pretty empty
Point.
then as well, huh?
I surfed Desert Point. Not too many people say that. Now they didn't have all that motels on the beach. You just had to jump off the boat, and the boat would anchor down. And the thing with surfing Desert Point is it sits between two islands, and it has a gnarly rip. It sucks you out to the out the sea if you don't stay in there. Like it's a catch a long way, and it sucks you right to the peak again. And you do a big circular motion. But yeah, I did a lot of surfing in the 90s and skating. I just did for like there wasn't a lot of competitions after 93 to like 97, so I did a lot of surf competitions and stuff.
Okay.
Ended up becoming a Masters champ for South Florida ESA and all that good stuff.
And are you still surfing now?
Yeah, I still surf now. That was my problem with after my surgery. I went surfing. My eyelids were sewn shut like this, like that. And then I was paddling out one day, and big old set wave came in, like a 8-foot face, and I didn't get under it. Hit me in the face, and it ripped a little teeny hole where the two eyelids were stitched shut, and they had to open it up where my eye was. It was like that big around open wound for 10 months.
Oh wow!
I had to pack it with gauze and all that, and then they ended up closing up, and then they had to graft it, and then they made a prosthetic eye patch for me. I glue it in.
Yep.
It said Grind for Life on it, prosthetic. It was a silicone eye patch, first one they ever made, and I would glue it in, and it would stay glued in for about maybe a couple hours, and then behind it, the sun was hitting the silicone and to heat the glue, and then I lost like one of the silicone eyes in the water. So yeah, now I don't have to do the silicone patch, but yeah, I do a lot of surfing but more skateboarding now. I like to surf when the waves are like skate park, like Kelly Slater's wave pool. So that don't happen too often in Florida. And then if there is good waves, there's a skate event. So I got to do a skate event.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard to get both. It's hard to do everything. I'll tell you that. You know that. So.
Mike, what's the best way? Like, if people want to get in contact and find out more about Grind for Life and what you guys are up to?
We got all the great social media. We got the Instagram, grindforlife.org. Instagram, we got Grind for Life on the Facebook. We can go to Grind for Life or gflseries.com for the Grind for Life skate park series.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also information on the series is also on grindforlife.org. The website for the organization is really good. And LinkedIn, you can get me on there. Mike Rogers on there. And yeah, I'm all available many ways.
Mike, thanks so much, man. It's been amazing talking to you, hearing your story, and it's an inspiration what you're doing and all the help that Grind for Life do.
Yeah, Roy, thanks for all your love and support, buddy. You do a great job out there too, getting everybody's story out there and stuff. So everybody tune into his podcast. He's doing it out there for everybody.
Thanks, Mike. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, shot. Yeah. Yeah.